Wednesday MLB, and that means day baseball. Does it get any better? Krusty K is here from the Go Boys Network, coming with another slate preview for May 29th. Before we hop into this, I want to let everybody know you can get all these odds at FanDuel Sportsbook. Without further ado, let's hop right into this one. We got a great one leading us off. It's Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Detroit Tigers. There's Jared Jones versus Tariq Skubal. This is the rained out game from the previous day, and same thing applies for me here. I'm going with Tigers on the money line. I love them in this spot. Jared Jones, I mean, he's good. He's definitely good. But for me, you get Skubal off a game where he's allowed, I believe it was 4 earned runs against the Royals. It just feels like a great spot for them to bounce back. Pittsburgh not hitting lefties at all right now. And on the road, they've been absolutely abysmal at the plate. Metrics are considerably worse than they are at home. So I like Skubal's case here. I think he can rack them up pretty easy. And I think the Tigers just win this one. Jared Jones, like I said, he's good. He's definitely as advertised. But for me, the one issue I see with him is the home runs. So I wouldn't really be surprised if like Riley Green or Kerry Carpenter, one of these like power lefty type guys, gets a hole one here. So for me, like I said, Tigers money line and Skubal strikeouts. Potentially Jared Jones strikeouts. I don't love it as much as I like Skubal. I think Skubal just mows through this lineup, truthfully. Our next one is the St. Louis Cardinals taking on Cincinnati Reds. This is Matthew Liberatore versus Frankie Montas. I'm going to roll with the Cardinals here. I don't love the game overall, just not two pitchers who I really care to back. But Montas, for me, is just at a point in his career where he's solely there to eat innings. And it just feels like one of those games where the Cardinals can get to him. The bats are coming alive a bit. Goldie's finally starting to wake up. And I feel like as he goes, the rest of this team's going to kind of follow suit. So give me the Cardinals here. I think they can get it done. Liberatore, lefty, he's not great, but facing a Reds team that, as we've all seen, just really isn't hitting right now. And it's tough to back them, tough to trust them. And I really think that Liberatore can find a little bit of success. They are much better in terms of K percent versus lefties, so I don't love his Ks here. But I do think in terms of this game, I like the Cardinals to pull out the win. And anything beyond that, I probably am not touching personally. Our next one is the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Texas Rangers. This is Ryan Nelson versus Dane Dunning. I believe initially Dunning was supposed to start the game before, but they made it Evaldi, so Dunning gets the start here. Same thing applies when I was talking about Dunning before. I'm on the Rangers here. I like the Rangers on the money line. Dunning has just been really good for this team. He eats innings, does a pretty good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark, and ultimately I think he can handle this Diamondbacks lineup, who has really cooled off at the plate, especially against righties. So give me the Rangers here. I think they can get it done. And I like their chances against Ryan Nelson, truthfully. Obviously, their offense has been super inconsistent, and that's really been the hard part about backing them. But this just feels like a spot where they can get it going. Our next one is the Philadelphia Phillies taking on San Francisco Giants. This is Christopher Sanchez versus Kyle Harrison. I'm rolling with the Phillies. For me, it's a no-brainer. Lefty against the Phillies. Guy who throws his fastball a ton. I like the Phillies. Simple as that. Christopher Sanchez, he's been good. Definitely been good. Is it a tough matchup for him? Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Obviously, Giants, pretty scrappy. Definitely hitting right now. But I just think the Phillies are just on another level. So give me the Phillies here. I think they get this one done. In terms of Ks, I don't love either guy. Probably a small lean to the over on Kyle Harrison, just because I really like the way this Philly team has been approaching lefties this season. But I'd have to definitely wait for a lineup before I jump it on under. Our next one is the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the New York Mets. This is James Paxton versus David Peterson. I'm going to go with the Mets. Dodgers team just hasn't impressed me. Super inconsistent right now. It just feels like a spot where we continue to fade the Dodgers, truthfully. I know it's a weird thing to say, but I just feel like that's where we're at with this team right now. So give me the Mets here. I think Peterson can pitch relatively well. Like I said, this Dodgers team just hasn't really scared me lately. And until they show me otherwise, I can't confidently back them, especially with Paxton on the bump. So give me the Mets. I like them to get it done. In terms of Ks, I like Paxton under his strikeouts. He's just not a K guy, especially at this point in his career. And this Mets team's are pretty good against lefties in terms of strikeouts. So I like that. Depending on what pitching outs are at for both guys, I mean, I think you probably look at the over for both because they're both probably going to have to wear it a bit after this doubleheader. Our next one is the Miami Marlins taking on San Diego Padres. This is Braxton Garrett versus Yu Darvish. I'm going to roll the Padres here. Yu Darvish definitely starting to look a little better, and I like him to just navigate this Marlins team. We've seen it, short at bats, not really hitting the ball well. So I think Darvish can pitch well here, and I think that Braxton Garrett, he's definitely been good, and I don't really trust this Padres offense. But I think at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the Padres win this one. In terms of Ks, I don't love either guy's strikeouts. Yu Darvish outs are probably my best look in terms of a player prop. We talk about all the time, Miami lowest pitches per plate appearance in baseball. So a lot of quick ABs, not a lot of the quality at bats really. So he should be able to keep his pitch count down and really work deep into this game. Our next one is game 2 of the doubleheader. This is the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Detroit Tigers. Paul Skeens, and ESPN has it undecided, but I do believe it is Jack Flaherty. If that is the case, I love the under here. Game 2 of doubleheader. Both teams probably going to be a little, tired in terms of the bats. Already going to have a tough matchup in the first one with Jared Jones and Skubal, and it doesn't get any easier in game 2 with these two guys going. So give me the under. I like both guys to mow Ks from both sides for sure, especially in game 2 of doubleheader. This could be a great spot for like a dual ladder or something of that capacity. Going to be a great game for strikeouts. Our next one is the Boston Red Sox taking on the Baltimore Orioles. This is Cutter Crawford versus Corbin Burns. Give me the ace. Give me Corbin Burns. I like the Orioles here. Probably roll like a performance double. Corbin Burns, 6 Ks, and the Orioles money line. I love him here. This guy's just been so good, man. And I don't see Cutter Crawford. He's been equally as good. I'm not denying that. But this just feels like a really tough spot. This Baltimore team, as we've seen, especially at home, just a very difficult team to pitch against. They lit up Bayo pretty good in this first one. And I just think this is a spot where Cutter's going to struggle. So give me Corbin Burns. Give me the ace to hold it down for his team. And like I said, I think the Orioles can get some runs here off of Crawford. Small lean to Corbin Burns over his Ks. It really depends on what the line's going to be at. I'm guessing it'll be like a 6.5. And if that's the case, I'd probably be in on it.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the Gold Boys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the Gold Boys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Our next one is the Oakland Athletics taking on Tampa Bay Rays. So it's Joey Estes versus Ryan Pepiot. I'm going to roll with the Rays. Seems like a no-brainer, but I just love Pepiot. This guy's outstanding. I love his pitch mix in this matchup. The changeup, I think, should work really well against this Oakland team. So I think Pepiot Ks are 100% in play here. But I do love Tampa Bay to get it done. Minus 170 on the money line. It's super juiced, but that's probably what I'm going to go with. I'd have to obviously use it as like a parlay piece. I'm comfortable laying the minus 1.5 with Tampa Bay. Our next one is the Washington Nationals taking on the Atlanta Braves. This is Mackenzie Gore versus Spencer Schwellenbach. So this is a rookie debut for the Braves, and we're getting Mackenzie Gore at plus money, and I am on the Nationals plus money on the money line to get this one done. This Braves team obviously lost Acuna, as we talked about, and I just don't feel like they're in a spot right now where they're really firing on all cylinders. I think this is a spot where Gore can take advantage. I like the Nationals to pull out the win here. I like Gore to pitch really well. Probably pitch deep into this one too. Love his strikeouts here, truthfully. Probably my favorite look of the whole game. But Nationals on the money line at plus money, I am in 100%. Our next one is the Chicago Cubs taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. This is Shota Imanaga versus Bryce Wilson. Roll with the Cubs. This is simple. Shota Imanaga on the bump. I am in. Got the Cubs at a minus 135 on the money line, which feels absolutely criminal. So I am 100% in on the Cubs. If it's a trap, go ahead and trap me because I'm taking them. Imanaga's been outstanding. Gets a Brewers team not really hitting lefties. They haven't seen a ton of good ones, and when they have, they've gotten absolutely mowed down by them. So give me Imanaga strikeouts. I love it. Think it's a great look for his Ks. And man, oh man, do I think the Cubs win big here. Bryce Wilson, as we've all seen, he's the number 5. Okay, he's going to go out there. He's going to get touched up. He's going to put guys on. This Cubs team super patient at the plate, and I really, really like them to get some runs here, get the bats going. And like I said, Imanaga, I expect him to absolutely dominate this Brewers lineup. I cannot wait for this game. Our next one is the Kansas City Royals taking on the Minnesota Twins. This is Seth Lugo versus Bailey Ober. I am always confused by these Royals prices because I feel like they should be like a pick 'em in this spot, and then you look in the book and you see the Twins at -130, and I think it's insane to me because Lugo has probably been their best starter and arguably one of the best starters in baseball this season. So give me the Royals at plus money. Again, if it's a trap, go ahead and trap me because I'm going there. Kansas City, far better team in my opinion. Bailey Ober, I mean, he's been okay, but we all know he's susceptible to giving up, a ton of contact, and he picks the days that he wants to strike guys out or not. So that's always funny to watch. But I like the under on Ober's Ks. Like Kansas City, they've been pretty K adverse. They've been a little worse on the road, but I just don't like the matchup for Ober here. I love the Royals on the money line. I love Lugo. I think his Ks are in play too. As we talked about a few weeks ago, he started throwing the curveball a lot more, as a result generating a ton of swing and misses, and ultimately generating more strikeouts. So Lugo Ks, 100%, under his Ks, and then Kansas City on the money line. I like them to win this one on the road. Our next one is the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Chicago White Sox. This is Alek Manoah versus Chris Flexen. I don't love this game because I don't want to back Manoah. I don't believe in him. I'm not buying into the few good starts that he's had. So for me, my best look in this is going to be Alek Manoah's outs. I like him to go over his outs. This White Sox team, low pitch per plate appearance, a lot of weak contact, a lot of ground balls. I think Manoah can pitch deep into this game. Is Toronto going to win? I mean, they should. Am I willing to bet on it? Absolutely not. Chris Flexen, KBO legend, I guess you want to call him. He's not a guy I'm going to confidently say is going to get the job done, but he, oddly enough, he's had some starts where you just sit there and, wondering like, how in the world? And that's what I worry about here because Toronto's a team, really aggressive at the plate. Same thing, going to put balls in play. And if they're hitting a lot of ground balls, well, Flexen's going to, next thing you know, Flexen's gone 6 innings, allowed no runs, and you're wondering why you're sweating a Toronto money line at -170. So for me, Alek Manoah outs, I think it's a great look. I love him to pitch deep in this game. Don't hate the strikeouts, don't love him either. He's just not a guy that I like to target a lot, period. So Alek Manoah outs, my best look here, and that's all I'll be touching in this game. The next one is the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Colorado Rockies. This is Logan Allen versus Ty Blatch. I'm going with the over. Total's at 10.5 for a good reason, in my opinion. Logan Allen, he's been hit or miss, and I feel like it's a big miss here at Coors. Just a tough spot for him. He's never pitched here before. I don't love his stuff when he's away from Coors, so I certainly don't love it at Coors. And as we talked about, this Rockies team starting to hit a little bit. I think they can get the bats going. Ty Blatch coming off of an absolute masterclass by his own standards and actually by most people's standards. I like Cleveland to get the bats going against him too. So give me the over. I think we see a ton of runs here. I know I've been on the over a lot in this series, but these pitchers just feel like it leans that way. So hopefully cash for us here. Hey guys, I just want to give a quick reminder that new users can bet $5 at FanDuel on any of the bets in this video and win $150 in bonus bets if the bet wins. Now let's get back to the bets. Our next one is the New York Yankees taking on Los Angeles Angels. This is Luis Gil versus Tyler Anderson. This is an interesting one to me because obviously I like backing the Yankees as much as I don't like the Yankees. They're hitting and obviously they're fun to back because the bats are alive and it's exciting to watch. -185 on the money line here with Gil is a little steep for me, so I'm gonna roll with the Yankees team total over. I like him to get to Anderson. Lefty, command is hit or miss. He's gonna walk a few guys. Obviously the Yankees see a ton of pitches, so they definitely make kind of amplify those walks a bit. And I like them to score some runs. You got Judge, swinging it well. You got Soto swinging it well. Stanton doing whatever he does, where he strikes out and homers all the time. So I like runs. I think they do win this game, but I'm much more confident going with team total over than laying a -185 with Gil or trusting the Yankees on the run line with Gil on the bump. Because as we've seen with Gil, the command is not there, and it's certainly not going to be there against a team like the Angels, who always seem to just bring out the worst in all these pitchers. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to back a pitcher against the Angels and they just can't seem to find the zone for whatever reason. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gil has the same problem. Our next one, and the last one on this slate, is the Houston Astros taking on the Seattle Mariners. This is Justin Verlander versus George Kirby. I'm going to roll with Seattle. I like Kirby at home. I think he could pitch pretty well against this Houston team. Houston, obviously, we know the lineup top to bottom. They can hit, and I'm not denying that. This is more of a fade of Justin Verlander for me than it is, loving the Mariners lineup. So Justin Verlander, command as he's come back has been a bit of an issue. Definitely has more walks than we're used to seeing, and I just think he struggles in this spot. Seattle has a lot of guys who can do some damage. As of right now, they're about league average against righties, so not ripping the cover off the ball. But I like him in this spot, and I think JV struggles a bit on the road here. I like Kirby, like I said, to pitch well. I think Seattle the money line at -120. I think it's a great price when you're getting Kirby. I mean, I would say he's the ace, but this Seattle team is loaded with aces. So just give me the Mariners to get the win here. I think they get it done. If you're looking for something other than Seattle on the money line, I think the Nerfy's in play in this one. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kirby covers his pitching outs. But other than that, I don't love the Ks from either guy in this one. So probably a stay away in terms of that. Even against the high K Mariners, I just don't love JV's stuff anymore. He looked really good against Oakland, but that's Oakland, so I'm not really sure that translates to against a team like Seattle. That does conclude our slate, though. If you guys do me a favor, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are playing. I will try to get the recaps out for all these when the new video goes out. I've changed our recording format a little bit, so I am usually recording when the other games are still going on. That's why you haven't seen the recap the last few days. I know a couple people have asked me about it. So I will get recaps out when the new video gets posted. As always, you can get all of my plays at goldboys.com. And if you have a gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. Thank you, guys.